There's a town nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains where people know better than to wander outside after dark. The locals tell visitors to lock their doors and windows at sundown. They don't explain why. They just insist. One crisp October night, a young woman named Clara found herself stranded in that very town. She had taken a wrong turn on her road trip and ended up at a small, crumbling inn as dusk was settling over the hills. The innkeeper, an older man with shaking hands, handed her a key and said, "Room 3. Don't leave your room tonight, no matter what you hear." Clara, skeptical but too tired to argue, nodded and climbed the narrow staircase to her room. The room was sparse, with a single bed, a warped mirror, and an old window overlooking the dark forest. Clara locked the door as instructed, unpacked her bag, and got ready for bed. She had just turned off the light when she heard its soft, haunting whistling. At first it seemed faint, like the wind slipping through the trees, but it grew louder, clearer. The melody was chillingly simple, a few high-pitched notes repeated over and over. Clara, unnerved, peeked through the window, but saw only the moonlit forest. The whistling stopped abruptly. Then it began again, closer this time. Clara froze, her breath caught in her throat. The sound wasn't outside anymore. It was in the hallway. Her heart pounded as she crept toward the door, pressing her ear against it. She heard the unmistakable sound of slow, deliberate footsteps, and with each step the whistling grew louder. The melody was unchanging, maddening in its repetition. The doorknob rattled. Clara stumbled back, her hands trembling. She heard scratching, then the soft rasp of a voice that sent icy chills down her spine. "I know you're in there." She clamped her hands over her mouth to keep from screaming. The whistling continued, now moving back down the hall, away from her room. She didn't dare look out the window again, afraid of what she might see. Morning came agonizingly slow. When the first rays of light broke through her window, Clara bolted from her room and ran downstairs. The innkeeper was waiting